some more fittings, and yeah, let's get on to it. And I've just realised my pipe cutter is missing. Well, I'm actually at home now. I just moved the camper van over here a few days ago, brought the compressor with me, and so I'm going to finish it off here. Now, had the pump and everything running. It's working fine. It's kicking in as it should, but we've just got to now plumb the tank up. It's taken me a few days to get some fittings together. Basically, there's some junk laying on the top there. That's just stuff that I've stuck there so I wouldn't forget it. And so yeah, let's carry on with it. We've got lots of fittings, some pipe, some more fittings, and yeah, let's get on to it. And I've just realised my pipe cutter is missing. Where has that gone? You are kidding me. Oh, there it is. I was going to say, I was going to get annoyed there. I thought someone had borrowed my pipe cutter and not put it back, but they have, so it's there. Never mind. Carry on. It's there, so never mind. Nothing to see here. Move along. Okay, so this is what I've got so far. I've used a piece of the original pipe because it's got a nice bend in it there. Obviously I don't have the means to bend copper pipe, or I would have done it, but yeah, come down there to a couple of fittings, adapting it to copper and then to there. Now if you're wondering, this tank will top out at about 100 to 110 psi. This copper pipe is rated at 200, so it's, you know, well, 190 something, but it's, you know, 200 give or take. I'm not going to get anywhere near the fracture point of this pipe, so yeah. Obviously it's not fastened together just yet. I'm just getting everything kind of lined up, so yeah, I'm going to pop this one back off. I might actually give him a coat of paint, this metal one, because I don't want him going rusty. Oh, is it still? I assume it's steel, isn't it? Or is it aluminium? Yeah, this one here. I'm not sure whether that's steel or aluminum. I don't have a magnet here, so. But either way, I think I'll give it a quick lick of paint, and then at least it's got a coating on it. It would have gone better. My can of black heat resistant paint turned out to be not black. Oh, whatever. It's got some paint on it. It'll do for now. So yeah. Oh, she's running there and building pressure. Basically, I'm going to run it. I think I want the cutoff to come in somewhere between 100 and 120 psi. So you just got to let it build up a bit more there. Well, here we go again. Definitely building pressure. So let's just see what it goes up to. Hopefully this thing cuts out before it gets too high. If not, I need to adjust it. Well, it's cut off, but we are losing pressure. Where are we losing pressure from this time? At this point, I really don't know what to do. Now losing pressure from there. Also losing it from here. and I have sealed it. I've put PTFE tape on it. I've put I've put the actual glue on it. I put PTFE tape and glue on it. And I've been all over that, and there are no cracks or anything in there, and I just don't know why it's leaking like that. Oh, we are losing pressure quickly, aren't we? Only thing I can think of, and I don't have it here, it's back at the workshop. I do have some really, really heavy stuff. Takes overnight to dry, and that's the only thing I can think of to seal that up with. But at the least, at this point, I can use the compressor is usable. What pressure are we dropping down to before she kicks in? Yeah, that's sufficient, didn't it? Yeah. That could be a fright one. So just shy of 100 psi. So what I'm going to do is what I might do is just up the pressure just a little, and then we'll see if I can just do something here. So there is something wrong. I'm going to have to take this coupling off. I need to make sure there isn't a split or something in the actual, in that itself. Yeah, very frustrating. Very, very frustrating, because everything else was working fine, but we're still leaking air around here somewhere. So it's all got to come apart again. Obviously things have escalated. Yeah, I don't know why I cannot get that sealed up. So everything's struck back down. I know everything works, so all I've got to do is just figure out how to get this all sealed up, and so I just got to figure out how to get it all to work without a leak. Oh, this has actually been quite the day, where I've ended up with a completely different configuration again. So I've got the manifolds here, blah blah blah. That's still to be sealed up, but it's okay for the minute. Moved the pressure switch to a different union here, so it sits behind. Also put just added an extra outlet there. I had it, so I stuck it on. Yeah, not exactly how I'd envisaged it. I've just stuck the gauge on there for now, just to blank that thing off. I might just put another outlet on there. I don't know. I'll see. But as you can see, it's kind of rainy and wet, and it actually looks really bright on the camera here, but it's not. It's really dark. So I'm going to plug it in, just give it a quick try, but I'm going to leave setting up the actual resetting the pressure switch until tomorrow. It's just too dark. I'm tired. I've been messing about with this for a long time at this point, since early this morning. So yeah, I'm just going to plug it in, just make sure it does power on, and then just leave it till tomorrow morning and then come back to it. Tis morning once again, so let's get this compressor figured out. Obviously, I just slid everything into the doorway last night, but yeah, I need to get this figured today so that I can get on and make a start with the camper van. Well, here we go again. I'm not going to bore you this time with like a minute and a half of the compressor running, so yeah, we'll come back after she's built pressure. So run up the pressure there and let's see what she got up to. Just shy of 120. So let's see what she kicks in at. Excellent. Excellent. So, one thing we've got to solve now is I can hear an air leak somewhere. Right. Let's get her back outside. I'll leave her pressurized. We'll move her out and we'll see if we can find that air leak. Weird. Is it all over somewhere? I think it's this dial. Yeah, it's this gauge. That's not so bad now. I'll pop him off. I don't know if you can hear it. Yes, there. Alright. Just pop this off again and then seal them up, and then that's it. We are up and running, which is almost depressurized. Yeah, if I remember now, I didn't put that gauge on properly. I just screwed them on without putting any additional sealer on it. So I can also get my doodah, my pressure regulator for spray gun, that and the water trap. I'll get that installed correctly, because I don't think I want it running through this little fitting here, because it is a very small air gap. I mean, it'd be okay for inflating tyres, etc., but not, I don't think it's going to give the volume for spraying. So I'm going to pop him off, put an adapter on there and stick him on there permanently. I do have another adapter. I may do that here as well, just to get an ordinary full pressure line on there. So overall, what is my impression of what I've bought on eBay? Well, compressor head and the motor, excellent. I'm very happy with them. They, so far anyway, are performing very well, but I'll give an update later on at, when I've used them for a month or two, because at the end of the day, it's the longevity. That's what is, it's difficult to give any indication of what that's going to be like on a review like this. The manifold and pressure regulator, it was cheap, and that says it all. It's a gimmicky. Well, what have I done with it? That there does nothing. Looks like it's for a pressure regulator, and it even clicks in and out, but it's a gimmick, and it's one of those things. It's like, why did you do it? I mean, there's no point in it. It's a completely pointless piece of plastic. I mean, you can see, may as well just had the manifold. And same with the gauges. I don't see the point of the gauges. One, yes. Two, I don't see the point of them. I mean, because all they're doing is telling you the pressure across this common rail, which is, it's going to be the same on both gauges. So gauges themselves, they're cheap and plasticky, but they seem to, correspond with this gauge that was already on the compressor. So, gauges, yeah, they are what they are. But yeah, as far as the pressure regulator itself, it works. I mean, I've turned it down just a little bit. It cuts in at, I think, about 80, and switches off at about close to 120, probably about 115, 118, something like that. So, I'll probably replace that at some point. This should get me up and running for the time being, but yeah, obviously it'll get me up and running for now. Last but not least is these packet fittings. I've had these before. They work all right. Nothing special. Just what I like about these is they're actually quite a high volume. So I like these for running the straight line. The other type, which I don't have kicking about here right now. No, I don't have one. But yeah, well, actually, it's the ones that fit into this type, like the much longer, slender ones. They tend to have a slightly narrower inner bore, and I'm not a huge fan of those. They're okay, but they're just okay. So yeah, I prefer these ones, whatever I've just done with them. I prefer them. Anything that you need to run a bit more volume. Sandblasters the same. If you've got one of those little handheld sandblasters, they do better with those with a slightly larger outlet. A slightly larger internal bore on the coupler. Anyway, I'm going to get this switched over. I'll get this dial sealed up, and there we have it. So yeah, I'll be back soon. Don't know how well you can see in there, but although it's got a decent sized diameter going in, this actual slider, which acts as a check valve, it's a very small internal diameter. So yeah, it really restricts airflow. Because the thing is, it's a lot of modern guns. It's not so much. It's not pressure you need. It's volume. So any restrictions in the line are detrimental, to the performance of the gun. So yeah. Anyway, got him out. I'll stick an adapter in there, and we'll get the doodah put back on, the pressure regulator put back on. Yeah. Well, that's it. However, the astute amongst you may notice that I've actually put a coupler there. Reason for that is, at a moment, I take that pressure regulator over to the shop with me to use on the compressor over there. So if I permanently affix it to there, I've shot myself in the foot. So put a coupler on. There's also a coupler, same coupler on the big compressor at the shop. So yeah, it's not the flashiest of little things, but I've had this for a while. It works really well, and I don't know if I've ever explained this, but what something you will run into is when the compressor builds up, it'll build up to 110, 120. So you've got a line pressure at say 120. However, you'll set your gun at that. Now, as you are spraying, you are using up volume out of the compressor, which in turn reduces the pressure in the tank and in the line. So what happens is that as that line pressure drops, so does the pressure in your gun. So you've got to constantly reset your gun. So what I like to do is I like to run an inline pressure regulator. Now I will run line pressure at somewhere between 40 and 50 psi. The idea is that run the line pressure from this regulator at a pressure lower than what the tank, what the pressure regulator is set at. So say for example this one here is cutting in at about 80. I would have this regulator set lower than 80 psi. That way, regardless of how this system cycles on and off, this line pressure is going to remain at whatever it's set at on this gauge. So, like I say, I like to run it at between 40 and 50 psi, and yeah, it means, like I say, regardless of what this setup is running at, this will maintain that line pressure. Then you can dial your gun in and your gun stays dialed in basically. It's that was just something I figured out a long time ago, and it's always served me well. So regardless of what size compressor you're using, I love to use a inline regulator so that I can control the line pressure, and it always works for me. Anyway, that is it. Obviously I do have the guard to put on. I need to run into town and get some longer nuts and bolts, because I need to drill there, drill the other side. I also need to cut the mesh out of the guard, switch it around, weld it back in. So yeah, I don't have any welding wire at the moment, so yeah, I need to get that all figured out. But this video was more on the actual, let's just call it rejuvenation and refurbishment of this compressor, using everything off eBay basically. So yeah, at this point I'm happy with it. It's been a bit of a pain, admittedly, especially getting some of these fittings to seal. Normally I use a much heavier adhesive. I forgot what they call it now. It's got a proper name. Anyway, it's basically like Teflon tape, but it's a liquid form. I prefer using that on compressors because you can lather all the fittings up, stick them in, leave them overnight, and it cures, and then that's it. But yeah, I have had a few issues with fittings leaking, so I'm there though, persevered. It's in total, from stripping this down at the shop, painting it, etc., fitting the compressor head, and actually getting all the fittings and everything working together, I've got about 2 days into it. So yeah, you know, that's not bad. Total cost, total price. So it is beginning of October today, and 2023, and at this point, let's see, we are at just short of £200 for everything. And so yeah, I mean, I'll stick links to everything I've bought online, and yeah, if you're interested, give it a go. Like I say, I will do a long-term review on this, because believe me, this compressor is going to get some use over the next few months. I've got that to paint. I want to paint the Astra, and yeah, there's a few other jobs around here where I need to run like not a Schultz gun. What do they call them? One of those guns for painting brickwork. Anyway, I'm rambling, so let's just cut it here. Well, there we have it. Yeah, I hope this inspires you to get out and have a go at fixing things. It's compressor's pretty straightforward as long as you use a bit of common sense. You remember, you are dealing with compressed air, and compressed air. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen any of the videos online with people building air cannons. That's basically what you've got here. You've got an air cannon without the barrel. So yeah, be careful with them. But yeah, I mean, this is if you can put plugs in your car, you can replace compressor head and pump. So there you go. Anyway, that's it for now. Come back and see me sometime. Take care and have a good one.